Hi kids, it's Tania McCartney here. I thought it might be fun to take you through my book Fauna, Australia's Most Curious Creatures. I thought we could explore some really unique and fantastic Australian animals, and you can see as we open the book I have a contents page which shows you all the different animals in fauna, from the koala all the way down to the flying fox, the dugong, the thorny devil, and also the book covers extinct animals, and we might even take a peek at them. And if you like, as I take you through one of these animals today, you might like to leave a comment on what animal you'd like me to cover next. So today I thought we could start at the beginning, and we could start with our beloved koala, particularly because our koala was so terribly affected by our recent bushfires, and I thought it might be fun to go over the fascinating facts about the koala. You might know a lot of this stuff already because I know you're all so clever and your teachers are so incredible at teaching you fabulous things, but I thought we could go through some of the points here, and do let me know if you've been surprised by something, because I know when I was researching for the book I was very surprised to discover these incredible facts about the koala. So let's start with the koala. Its bio name is Phascolarctos cinereus, and I should probably have practiced how to say that to start with, but that's its Latin name. The teddy bear, Australia's own teddy bear, the koala, is actually not really a bear, but I know that you all knew that anyway. It's an arboreal, nocturnal, herbivorous marsupial, or in other words, a fluffy, tree-dwelling leaf eater with a pouch who sleeps all day and wakes briefly at night. Its closest living relative is the wombat. Did you know that? Isn't that amazing? Now, koalas can be found in large areas of Australia. Here is a map of the east coast of Australia, and you can see here that the population ranges from far north Queensland all the way down here to Victoria, and also a little bit out here into South Australia. Unfortunately, there are not a lot of koalas left, and that's what I want to bring you to here. The guess when I wrote this book, which was a couple of years ago, was that we have only around 80,000 koalas left, which is deeply concerning, of course. One of the biggest threats to koalas is the chlamydia bacteria. It leads to eye, urinary and reproductive tract infections. And also, of course, drought and bushfires, as we just experienced recently, dogs, humans and loss of habitat, so all the trees that are being cut down. These are responsible for the koala's rapid decline. And of course, the koala is now listed as vulnerable, and I would say that rating has been upped recently after the bushfires. Okay, on to something a little more positive. How about we look at what koalas eat? So, of course, koalas only pretty much eat eucalyptus leaves, don't they? And only from certain types of trees. But let's see what else they might nibble on. So, koalas eat about 1 kilo of leaves each day. And as I said, they prefer the leaves of certain types of eucalypt. The leaves are low in nutrition, but are high in fibre and toxins. So they're essentially poisonous. Can you believe that? But a special part of the koala's digestive system, called a cecum, helps koalas digest the leaves and also process these toxins. The digestive process is so exhausting that koalas will sleep up to 20 hours a day. Can you believe that? And koalas can store the leaves in their cheek pouches before chewing them, and they'll occasionally eat flowers, buds, twigs and bark of the eucalyptus. And sometimes they eat even a little bit of dirt, and a lot of Australian animals actually do that, including the emu. It helps them grind up the food in their bellies. Only a certain number of koalas can live in one forest because a lack of leaves can starve the population and make it sick. So the koalas are, they're very understanding, aren't they? They know that they can't gobble all the leaves in one sitting and have to share it amongst their community. So koalas spread out so they've got enough leaves for everyone. All right, let's have a look at this picture of the koala mum and her baby. So koalas can actually grow up to 85 centimetres high, which is nearly a metre. That's incredible. It actually has one of the smallest brains for its size of any mammal. And also around the brain, it has, here you can see, it has extra fluid around the brain. And scientists think that it might act as a shock absorber in case the koala falls out of the tree. You'll also notice here that because koalas sit in trees on the hard wood for such long periods of time, they actually have a little pad at the base of their spine just for comfort so that they can sit comfortably and sleep comfortably. Their eyes are small, and this is a really rare animal in that its pupils are actually vertical slits like a snake. Can you see that? So they're not round pupils, they're actually lines, vertical lines, and yeah, it's kind of bizarre for a mammal to have that. Their waterproof fur is also resistant to the sun, wind and rain. And koalas have a very good sense of smell, of course. All right, let's have a look over here. So the word koala comes from an indigenous word meaning no drink, because koalas rarely need water. And they actually get most times they get all of the water they need from gum leaves because they have a lot of water in them. You may have heard about the drop bear. Being an Australian, you probably have. And the drop bear is a predatory carnivorous koala. It is large and vicious and will drop from trees onto the heads of unsuspecting people below. Although they say that if you're an Australian, they might leave you alone. Okay, actually they're imaginary creatures, or are they? And I also wanted to just tell you about joeys, because joeys are just the most fascinating creatures, aren't they? Whether they're from roos or wallabies or koalas, they're just the sweetest little things, and it continues to amaze me how they crawl from the birth canal to the pouch. So as with kangaroos, koalas are really, really tiny at birth, and they're called a joey as well. And of course they're very tiny and undeveloped, and you can see from the size of my finger here how small that little joey is at birth. So he's really, really tiny. He's probably only about 1.5 centimetres long. He's actually about the size of a jelly bean. So the baby, and sometimes a twin, because quite a few koalas start out as twins, crawl into its mother's upside down pouch. And because of course koalas are in trees, their pouch it's upside down, but it needs to be closed off at the base with a muscle called a sphincter muscle, so that the baby of course doesn't fall out when mum's climbing around in the tree. At around 6 months, the little fluff ball over here pokes its head out of the pouch. And when the baby, this is a bit gross, but I'm going to tell you anyway, when the baby is ready to leave the pouch, the mother eats leaves and produces a pap that the joey licks from her bottom. Oh, it sounds gross, but it's not poop, so don't worry. It's actually a pap. It's full of bacteria that helps the baby digest leaves, because as we discovered, the leaves are toxic and koalas need to be able to digest them well. All right, so we're nearly finished here. Let's just take a look at the different types of koalas around Australia. So there are 3 subspecies of koala. So obviously the koala is a species, and there are subspecies, meaning there's 3 types. There's the Queensland koala, and it's the smallest with short silver fur. The Victorian koala is the largest with shaggier brown fur. I wonder why you think a Victorian koala would have thicker, shaggier fur. I mean, the state is much further south, probably gets a bit colder, doesn't it, than far north Queensland? So the koalas have adapted their fur to suit their conditions. And then, of course, we have the New South Wales koala, and they fall somewhere between the two, the Victorian and Queensland koala, and they're twice as heavy as Queensland koalas. And you can see here, I love this little diagram of the koala's paw, of its arm and paw. So koalas actually have similar fingerprints to humans, which is quite amazing. They have textured skin on their foot pads, and I guess you can imagine why they would have textured skin on their foot pads, right? Yeah, non-slip. They also have, on their feet paws, they have 2 toes that are fused together, and their hands have 2 thumbs for extra grip. So quite amazing creatures. Koalas prefer to spend time alone, although the mother-joey bond is very strong. Adult males communicate with loud bellows. You might want to get on YouTube and Google, search for koalas bellowing and see exactly how loud it can be. I mean, you know, here I've got grunts and bellows also made while mating and can be heard kilometres away. So koalas do make noises. We all think they're so quiet and silent, but they're actually not. Did you know also that koalas are actually really good swimmers? Isn't that amazing? All right, guys, I hope that was fun for you and I hope you learned something today. I'm really keen to read you more from the book, so please leave a comment and let me know which animal you would like me to cover next. I have choices, lots of choices. Here they are again, from the crocodile, platypus, marsupial mole, which is fascinating. I also cover different types of birds and marsupials and invertebrates. So if you're into spiders and creepy crawlies, leave a comment and let me know what you want to do next. Lots of love to all of you. I hope you're washing your hands and keeping safe and well. I'll be back soon. Bye.